Hey everybody, this is Mr. Gonzalez speaking again. Um, so this is the assignment for May 18th, Monday, um, Algebra 2 class. We're going to be talking about completing the square. As you can see here on my screen, it says completing the square. And this method of completing the square will only get to talk about the initial steps of doing this method that we call completing the square. Essentially what it does is it just gives us the x-intercepts, kind of like we've been doing before. So we've used the quadratic formula to get x-intercepts. We've used Desmos.com to get x-intercepts. Now there's one more method that's very popular, um, but not my favorite. It doesn't matter. We're still going to learn it. It's called completing the square. Okay, so this is the intro assignment. So we're not going to complete the square all the way through, but we're going to do the first step. So let me go into student view here. And the first step is we have to find what we call a missing constant term um, to perfect this square. So if I get my marker here, uh, this is almost a trinomial. There's usually like a number at the end. So right now we just have x squared minus 16x, and it doesn't have like plus or minus anything after that. If we were using the quadratic formula, we would have to label a. In this case, we can see that a is 1. We can label b, which is negative 16, and we don't have c. So that's what we're trying to figure out. C is a constant that we have to find, but it's a special constant. We want to find a special constant that completes the square. Okay, and then to get that, I'm just going to cut to the chase and give you the formula. So to get that constant, what you have to do is get b, which we said is negative 16, so we'll plug that in a bit, over, so we're going to divide b by 2 times a, which in this case, a is 1. I know it looks like there's nothing in front of this x squared, but when there's nothing, it's a 1. But that's not it. After you do all of that, you got to raise that to the power of 2. All right? So if I were to do this problem, again, if I were to find the constant here that completes the square, I would take b. So I'm going to write here, instead of b, I know b in this case is negative 16. And then I would divide it by 2 times a. In this case, a is 1. And I believe that for, actually, I won't say that. I think that for all of the intro problems, all of the a's are going to be 1, but it's possible that they might change, okay? And then once we do all of the inside of the parentheses, we'll square it. So I know that 2 times 1 is just 2. Negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. And if I'm going too fast, remember that you can always pause and rewind, okay? So inside of this parentheses, I got negative 8. Now negative 8 to the power of 2. That's negative 8 times negative 8, which is 64, okay? So 64 is the constant that if we put it at the end here, it completes the square. And we'll talk a little more about what that means in a little bit, but we found the constant at the end should be 64. So let me check it. Great. Okay. So I'm going to keep this short. It's about 4-minute video. Again, make sure to go back and rewind whenever you need to. But for Friday's assignment, we'll get a little bit more in depth. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions by sending me a message on Schoology. Take care, everybody.